What's up, everybody? Craig Kaleski here, and I'm a super happy person today. I've got a big smile on my face because today I got the Nikon Z8. It's been a long time coming, and I'm super stoked that a smaller form factor of the Z9 is finally out. The Z9 is the flagship camera at the moment from Nikon. This has been my workhorse. This camera has worked super hard. It's been through hell, and it just keeps going. Focusing, image quality, everything about this camera is just amazing. This is my go-to camera. Although, when I'm in the mountains, carrying all my gear in a backpack over extended distances, this is a bit heavy, a bit bulky, and does take up more space in my bag. So the Z6 II would usually be my go-to camera in the mountains just because of the size and the weight and all of that. But if you compare the three cameras together, you can see the difference in the sizing from the Z6 II to the Z8 to the Z9. So the Z8, when I pick it up, so I only got this camera about an hour ago, hardly even had time to take in anything about this camera, just super excited I got it. Yeah, so when I pick it up, it pretty much feels like the D850. And this is the mirrorless version of the D850. It has all the Z9 features and functions packed into the smaller form body. So it's light, the grip is good. It has a adjustable tilt rear screen. It takes two memory cards, so it takes a CF Express and it takes a SD card. What everyone's been asking for is two card slots or dual card slots. Okay, so there's a couple of features on the camera. It's a 45 megapixel stacked CMOS sensor, so massive quality. It's exactly the same as the Z9. So if you've been online researching the Z9, what you're getting in the Z8 is the Z9 in a smaller form factor. For the video, guys, 8K 60p in RAW in camera video recording. That is absolutely insane. It also does 4K 120p if you need to shoot some slow motion footage. Another thing on the video, it can film up to 125 minutes continuously without blowing up or out overheating or out switching off. So 125 minutes of continuous video recording. That's pretty epic. On the still side, which I will use the camera for mostly, 20 frames a second, full RAW, can't stop this camera. It is a machine. The one thing about the Z9 is the focusing. The focusing on this camera has been amazing, and we have definitely, as outdoor sports photographers, pushed the limits of what this camera can do focusing wise. And if the Z8 is anything to go by with the Z9, this is going to be my go-to camera when I'm moving around, traveling, just because of the form factor, just because it's smaller and lighter and I can fit it in anywhere. A lot of you have used the Z6s, Z6 II, Z7 II, have all complained about the blackout shutter. For me, the blackout also was not fun. It really affected the way I shot sometimes. The Z8 is now blackout free, which is amazing. So it'll be pretty much exactly the same as the Z9. So the form factor of the Z8 is definitely gonna benefit the video guys. A lot of guys using the Z8 weren't too happy about the size, but the Z8 and the size that it is now will be perfect for the video guys, especially if you're using gimbals and third-party accessories that need a smaller body size like this. So if I look at the back of the camera, the buttons are pretty much the same as the Z6, same amount of buttons, but obviously less buttons than the Z9 because it hasn't got the grip on. There is a grip available for the Z8, but the grip on the Z8 will make this camera slightly bigger than the Z9 from what I've seen online and in photographs. But going for this camera, if you've got a Z9 already, you won't need a grip for this. Keep it as is. You can maybe get an L bracket that I usually get for my cameras to protect them when you're putting down the ground, and so it can take extra knocks and take an extra beating. Another nice thing about this camera, let me just double check, is that it can charge through a USB-C. So charging your camera through a USB-C, yep, it's charging, is pretty cool. I hate traveling with all the battery chargers and all the adapters. So now that you can charge your cameras through plug points in hotels through USB, or your power banks that you travel with, really makes a massive difference. Well, it makes a massive difference for me. But yeah, I do like the fact you can charge this camera on the go wherever you go. Another cool thing about mirrorless cameras is that they're pretty quiet. So you can still put this on the silent mode. So when you're working on film sets or shooting behind the scenes, your shutter doesn't interfere with the sound guys. And we know how that can turn out sometimes. So I'm pretty excited to get going with this camera. I thought I'd just do this video very quickly, just as a hands-on. I'm super amped to get it. And from tomorrow, I'm going to be using this every day. And I cannot wait. So yeah, just look out for follow-up video. I'm going to be shooting some motocross, some kite surfing, all the adventure sports I do. And I'll only be using this camera and really trying my best to push the limits on it and to see what I can do. I hope this video helps. If you have any more questions, just hit them down in the description below. Cool. Cheers.